Hi everyone, welcome to your Pick a Pile reading. Today we will be asking, how do they see me? If you're new to the channel, I upload timeless readings, which means that whenever you see this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload Pick a Pile readings on Sunday. As always, if you're interested in getting a personal reading, the link is in the description. But moving on to the piles, pile number 1 is the Morgan Greer Tarot. Pile number 2 is the Sun and Moon Tarot. And pile number 3 is the Mystical Manga Tarot. That being said, I'll give you guys some more time to choose if you haven't already, but then I'll get started on pile number 1. Okay. So, the question is, how do they see me? How do they see you guys? Pile number 1. I'm going to go ahead and put this card back, just because I kind of dropped it myself. But, ooh, okay. So we're definitely getting this card out. The thing about this deck is it kind of has the habit to flip over within the deck, but I usually try not to take the cards unless they fall out or unless I feel called to draw them myself. But I'm going to go ahead and get a few more cards and we can get started on your reading. Okay, pile number 1. So, for your overall energy, you have the Queen of Wands, or rather the Queen of Cups as your overall energy. Queen of Wands is also in your reading, but your overall energy is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups talks about very romantic feelings. A lot of the times the Queen of Cups is very caring, nurturing, loving. A lot of the sort of emotions and feelings that come when you are talking about relationships. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic connection. However, I do feel that there is a lot of romance here present, at least for a group of you. I'm looking at the actual reading itself, and I almost see a lot of these, storylines here, like 4 storylines in these columns. So first of all, I see that this person sees you as a very passionate person, because you have the Queen of Rods, and with this 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, I always call it my happy wife, happy life card. So I'm looking at, I just saw the clock and I saw 4:20. I know that that might not mean a whole lot to some of you people, but for some of you that might be important. But like I was saying, there is a lot of like sort of grass symbolism within this Queen of Rods. So maybe it is important to you guys. I don't know. But like I was saying, I definitely see this person sees you as wife material, and if you're a man, sees you as sort of husband material, because to me the 10 of Pentacles always talks about stability in the home in particular. So this person really wants to play the long game. I think that they're looking at sort of long term here. And moving on to this second column, it almost feels like more of the same. I'm getting kind of flashbacks to a dream that I had recently. It doesn't necessarily pertain to the situation, but I think that you guys should be paying attention to your dreams, because I feel like you might be receiving messages. In particular, if you remember your dream when you wake up, you know, I recommend looking up the imagery in a dream journal, or rather a dream dictionary. I know that they sell a lot of those online or in stores. They used to have dream moods, which was very helpful, but now it's a little bit harder to navigate. But that's for some of you guys with this moon card, I feel. Even though I was talking about this Three of Pentacles. So I kind of like jumped a little bit ahead. But like I was saying, this Three of Pentacles talks about working together. And then the Temperance card talks about balance. And it's a Temperance card usually you end up seeing when you're talking about taking very different elements and putting them together. I think very Sagittarian energy when I see the Temperance card. So I think one thing that's very big in sort of Sagittarius culture is going out and learning things about different cultures. So I'm getting that for some of you, you might be in a relationship with someone from a completely different culture or nationality or maybe even ethnic group. Especially here with this Chariot, because the Chariot is movement. And it almost feels like some of you might be in a long distance kind of a relationship, because the Chariot is in reverse, and that's creating this Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is the card about not being able to sleep at night. So I feel like the fact that you guys aren't together physically is making for a lot of sleepless nights. But with this Moon card and this Ace of Swords, I see that there's going to be a powerful new beginning almost. Whenever you see an ace of any kind, it means that there's going to be an ending and a new beginning. So I feel like there's going to be some kind of a rebirth, either recently or that's going to happen, where you're going to start to see a lot more clarity, because the Moon card talks about things that are unseen to you. And the Ace of Swords talks about things that are not necessarily visible, but that you can really understand, because the aces and the swords in particular talk about clarity, right? And everything that happens in the mental realm. So as a result, you're going to have a lot more communication and a lot more understanding. But that was your pile for reading number 1. You're more than welcome to go back and choose another pile if you want to hear a different outcome, or maybe you have a different person in mind. But if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really like to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new pick a pile videos on Sundays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to look at my other timeless videos that I have up on the channel. And with that, I say goodbye to pile number 1. And I say goodbye, or rather, hello to pile number 2. All right, pile number 2. This is the Morgan Greer Tarot. And the question is, how do they see you? Just as a heads up, the cards in the deck like to flip around, but I usually don't take them unless they have popped out, or if I feel inclined to pull them out myself. I'm going to go ahead and put these back and keep shuffling just a little bit longer. like I said, I do see the cards that are flipped over, but I usually don't take them until they pop out of the deck. I'm gonna go ahead and take these cards. It's 10 cards, which is a little bit more than I would like, but we can make do. Don't tell the other piles. Okay. So, for your overall energy, you have the Temperance card. And the Temperance card, a lot of times, I feel, talks about combining things that aren't exactly alike, right? But I feel like a lot of times it refers to culture. I do want to mention, though, that you have the Temperance and the Hierophant as your major arcana, which both point towards Sagittarius and Taurus specifically. So those signs might be relevant to you guys. I looked at the clock just a little bit ago, and it had 1122. So you guys might be seeing synchronicities. And I really do feel that you're striving a lot for balance right now. It's very interesting because I see this Five of Wands and I see this Six of Cups. And that's drawing my attention right now. So when I see the Five of Cups, or rather the Five of Wands and the Six of Cups together, because the Six of Cups talks about nostalgia, I feel like you're feeling like you've seen this energy before, but not in a good way. I feel that for a lot of you guys, you're talking about love. And I feel as if there's conflict and fighting, and it's like, oh, I've been down this road before, but I don't like where it goes. And I feel like that's a major theme here. And I'm also getting that there might be more than two people involved, just because I'm looking at these cards. And the King of Wands, to me, feels like a fire sign. It feels like someone who's trying to be an evolved fire sign. Maybe they're not exactly evolved right now, but they're definitely striving to get there. And with the Prince of Wands, it's almost like they want to come forward. But I see the Prince and the Princess of Pentacles, Prince of Wands and the Princess of Pentacles, almost as two different people. So it could be as if this King of Wands is trying to choose between these two different people. But I definitely see that there's somebody who is an earth sign here, because the Princess of Pentacles, to me, a lot of times will represent people or messages, and the Pentacles happen to represent Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and you have the Hierophant card, which is the card of Taurus. That, plus the Four of Wands, which is my level up card, leads me to believe that this person wants or has the intention of leveling up in a relationship with someone who might be an earth sign. But like I was saying, I get the impression that there's juggling involved, because with this Temperance, which talks about balance, and with this Two of Swords, which talks about indecision, I feel that there's this energy of where this person isn't quite decided on what they want to do or how they want to do it. And I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing in the world, but it's just a matter of the fact that they right now are not decided. I think right now they're trying to see what the water is like, especially with this Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, to me, usually indicates a new beginning to a cycle based off of your old cycle. So in that sense, the Wheel of Fortune is very karmic. And I feel like if this person has sort of been wronged in the past, they're going to come back and try to get a better situation, better outcome that they did in the past. And like I said in the very beginning of this reading, with the Five of Wands and the Six of Cups, it's like they're going down this path of conflict and they don't want to be a part of it again. And I feel like that is going to push them to choose this other person. Because I feel like of the two people, there's one person who's much newer energy, and there's another person who is much more older energy. And I feel like the older energy, which is like the Six of Cups, is very conflicting, very competitive, and not in a good sense. And it's just very exhausting with this person, or rather for this person. As a result, they're taking this Four of Swords stance where they're resting and retreating, and I feel like they may have been hurt in the past, and as a result, they sort of take this Four of Swords approach in all of their relationships, where they try to keep people at arm's length a little bit. So I don't think that they see you in any negative light. In fact, quite the opposite. With this Four of Wands and Wheel of Fortune, I think they see you as an amazing person. It's just that as a result of sort of their past, it's a little bit difficult for them to open up right away. And I feel like that's the issue that a lot of you guys are having right now. But that was your reading for pile number 2. You guys are more than welcome to go back and choose another pile, or maybe choose another pile for a different outcome or a different person. But if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new pick a pile videos on Sundays, but in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless videos that I have up on the channel. I hope to see you guys next time, and with that, I say goodbye to pile number 2. And I say hello to pile number 3. The question is, how do they see me? So the deck that I'm using, this is the Mystical Manga Tarot. It's a very unique deck, I'd say. Not a lot of tarot decks have this sort of aesthetic, so I think it's really cool, especially if you happen to be a manga or anime lover. Makes an excellent gift, and I also think it's very helpful for people who are trying to start to get into tarot. And it comes with a really nice book. At least if you buy the bigger version, it comes with a book that has a lot of the illustrations printed out in color, and I think that's really nice and really helpful, especially if it's one of your earlier decks. But in a minute here, I'm going to go ahead and start pulling out the cards, and we'll get started on your guys' reading, pile number 3. All right, pile number 3. Your overall energy is the Four of Pentacles. Now, whenever I see something like the Four of Pentacles, there always isn't like a concern, but it's like, be aware of the fact that they're not coming forward and telling you this information, because I feel like they're being very secretive. The Four of Pentacles is all about keeping your resources to yourself, which means that they're not going to tell you how they feel or how they see you. But it's very interesting because I'm seeing like a very big mix of cards here. Especially with this Queen of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune was in the second reading and the Queen of Wands was in the first reading. And, you know, obviously these are, oh, and the Nine of Swords as well. So these are obviously all different decks. And to see a lot of this repeated energy tells me that you guys might have a lot in common with those decks, or with those piles, I should say. So definitely if you were considering to go back and watch one of those piles, do. But like, to answer how does this person see you, I think they think you're magnificent. This Nine of Pentacles and this Empress are really standing out to me, because the Nine of Pentacles is the card about independence. I usually call it the sort of single and ready to mingle card. So you guys at least this is the way they see you, look like you don't need anyone. You look powerful. You look strong, independent, and within your power. And that's just the Nine of Pentacles. Then you have the Empress, which is like an octave above that. So I think definitely this person almost feels like you're out of their league, because I see this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And then right below it, I see the Queen of Wands. So I feel like they see you as the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very strong, passionate, independent as well, similar to the Nine of Pentacles. She's fun-loving, she's passionate, and she is very mature. But I feel like they're coming forth as this knight, which isn't a king or a queen, so they're not exactly on the same level, and is also a coin, right? So the pentacles, or the coins, usually have a hard time mixing well with the wands, because the coins want to look for practicality and structure, whereas a wand will have no problem, or at least less of a problem than a coin, sort of going with the flow and channeling that chaotic energy. And it's almost like this person feels like, oh, I'm not like that, they won't like me, and they're sort of not coming forth with an offer, because the knights are offers, and the fact that there isn't, or rather the fact that it's in reverse tells me that there isn't an offer coming forward, and the fact that you have the Four of Pentacles tells me that they're not coming forward at all, expressing any of this. But I see the Wheel of Fortune and the Star card, which tells me that they're wishing for you. The Star card is also the card of Aquarius. So for some of you, you might be dealing with an Aquarius. And with this Wheel of Fortune card, it's almost as if they want their wish to come true. The Wheel of Fortune, to me, is a very karmic card. It talks about new cycles that begin based off of the previous cycle. So I feel like this person in their previous cycle has been putting a lot of effort towards this connection, and as a result they have this star energy that they want to sort of capitalize on and achieve. And you're the star, because you're the Nine of Pentacles and you're the Empress. Like, the Empress is the Queen of Queens. Like, there is no woman that is more beautiful than the Empress. There is no woman that is more talented than the Empress. There is no woman that is smarter than the Empress. And, you know, all those things, obviously, if you're not a woman, like, take it and apply it to you as it's most applicable to you. You know, as a man, you're still talented, smart, and courageous, and all these qualities that the Empress has. She looks very much in her power. She looks a little bit cold too, and I feel like that's a little bit of a turn on to them. I feel like they're very I feel like they're admiring how powerful you are and how okay you are with having power. Like, anyone can put you in a managerial position and you'll be fine, And what they want with you, what they see in you, is the Star and this Sun card. The Sun is the happiest card in the tarot. So that tells me that they really want to achieve this happiness with you, but they're up at night with this Nine of Swords thinking about it and not knowing what to do or how to do it. But they still want it with you. You know, this almost turned into a relationship reading, but if you're wondering how they see you, they think that you are the bee's knees, the bomb.com. There is nothing. You are the alpha and the omega, and there's nothing that can possibly outshine you because you are the sun. But that was your reading for this pile number 3. You're more than welcome to go back and choose another pile if you so choose. And if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But I upload my new pick a pile videos on Sundays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on this channel. And with that, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading, whatever it may be.